for this lesson, we're going to talk about what to do when you have a couple of different variables that you have to solve for within these parallel lines and transversals. Now, if you look on this, the first one you need to solve for this instance is x. You need to solve for that x. And that's because we have all the information we need to solve for the x. We don't have anything that's going to help us solve for that y. We must first figure out what x is. Using the same math we have been doing, we'll be able to tell that these are congruent based on being alternate exterior angles. Or you could even correspond this angle up to right here, and then they're a vertical pair. It doesn't matter as long as you know they're congruent. We'll set these equal to each other, solve for x. At that point, we'll have to plug the number back in for x and figure out what the actual degree measure is of this angle. We can use that to find what the y plus 4 equals and solve for y. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's set it up. We've got 7x plus 6, and these are going to be opposite sides of the equal sign, so I really don't need the parentheses. I'm just trying to copy it exactly like it is. If these were supplementary and going to be on the same side of the equal sign, then we would want to definitely use the parentheses. But I can just ignore them. It's like they're not even there right now. I've got more x's on the right than I do the left. And again, I set these equal to each other because they are congruent. That means the value for this angle has to be the same as the value of that angle. So the degree measurement on each of them are identical. That's why we use the equal sign, which is equal, set them equal to each other. But I have more x's on my right than the left. So I'm just going to cancel them off the left because I want to keep them positive. You don't have to, but I usually find that I make less mistakes when I do that. So I'm bringing down my positive 6. And 9x minus 7x is going to be 2x. When you subtract these x's, you don't pay much attention to the x except for that it carries down. You're just doing 9 minus 7. 9 minus 7 is 2, so it's 2x. And then bring down my minus 2. At this point, I have just a two-step equation that we've seen thousands of times by now, I'm sure. I'm going to add 2 to each side to cancel off my subtract 2. And I'll have 8 is equal to 2x. To get rid of that 2, I have to divide on each side. And x is 4. Now, we're not finished there. I got to do something with that x equals 4. I got to plug it back in. So it doesn't matter which one you plug back in. I'm going to plug it into where it says 9. That's not a pretty looking 9. Where it says 9x minus 2, I'm going to make it 9 times 4 minus 2. 9 times 4 is 36. When I subtract 2, I get 34, and that's going to be degrees. So that's 34 degrees for this angle. So if I was to fill it in, I could put 34 degrees in there. And I'm talking about this angle right here. Rather than mess up what I've got going right there, I'm just going to put the 34 degrees right there because that's also going to be 34 degrees. Because remember, these are all congruent. All these angles right here that I'm highlighting, the cute little angles there, are congruent to each other. So I'll just put a 34 here. And now we can set up and solve for our y. Let me get rid of some of this stuff here. We don't need it anymore. And it's on video, so you can go back and look at it if you need to see it again. Or you just, take it back a little bit, hit pause if you need to. So now I know that I have this value for this angle, and this is going to be supplementary angles here because they're a linear pair. I can set it up now. Y plus 4 plus 34 equals 180. At this point, I can combine like terms on my left side. Y plus 38, because 4 plus 34 is 38, would be equal to 180. If I subtract 38 on each side, I get that y is equal to 142. And my x value was equal to 4. If I want to check these and make sure they were correct, all I have to do is plug my 142 in for y. 142 plus 4 equals 146 degrees. 146 plus 34 is in fact 180. So it shows that those are supplementary, and I'm finished at that point.